So I'm a clinical exercise physiologist, and I've run a small business training clinical clients, mostly 55 plus, for 15 years. Also doing a lot of weight loss clients because I lost 90 pounds. And I closed my small business on Friday so that I can do this full time. And it was really emotional, especially because the last session I did was with a client who has been a huge part of my life. I've been training him 3 times a week for 12 years. Worked through some major injuries, and he's been a huge part of my life. When my dad passed away suddenly, he bought my flight home because I couldn't afford it because it was like $800 to fly to Wyoming. And he and his wife let me live in their home when my apartment in New York lost heat for 4 months in the middle of winter. And he just became a huge mentor and a huge part of my life. And it was really difficult. And it was really difficult because I knew that I was letting this part of my identity, this part of what built my life, die. When my ex-fiance put $75,000 of debt in my name. Training was what I used to rebuild my life. Training was what eventually led me to art. And it's really like tomorrow's my first morning I wake up and I'm no longer that business owner. I'm doing this full time, and I had to write out, like, what does my new day look like? What does that look like for me? How do I deal with letting go of this part of my identity and letting in something else? And what I will say is I was really afraid to do it. I have a lot of attachment to the financial security of it for doing it so long. And because after what happened with my ex-fiance, I was homeless for a period of 10 months. I was living illegally in a warehouse. And that was what gave me financial security and what gave me that part of my life back and that part of my control. And what I'm remembering is that every time I've been challenged to make a scary decision, it's always been the right one. That fear is often a North Star. And I don't mean the kind of fear like you walk into a room or you're around someone and your gut tells you you're in danger. I'm not that kind of fear. The kind of fear of like, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. Oh, that's too much. Is that too risky? Can I do that? And every time I've done that, those decisions, packing up and moving to New York with $1,000 and living in my car for 4 months, hiking state parks, and every time I have taken those major leaps, it's been the best decision I've ever made. And I think that this is another one of those decisions. And I think that fear is often a North Star. Fear is your opportunity to grab something that's meant for you, if you're willing to take that step towards it. So I'm in this new phase, and I'm in this new chapter of that. And I'm still going to be doing like some fitness stuff, talking about my own health journey, getting my own health back on track. I have a group in Instagram on the chats, like a chat group about health and wellness and little tips and tricks and things I've learned over the years that I share with people. But it's a new, tomorrow is the first day in 15 years I wake up not as Monty the trainer. And it's hard. It is sad because my clients, I trained most of them for 8 to 12 years, and they became my best friends. They became family. And it's a new space to be in, but I also know that fear is my challenge to be something bigger and greater. And I think that maybe if you look at your life, sometimes fear is your North Star. Sometimes fear is telling you exactly where you need to go, and those decisions are going to be the ones that pay off the biggest in your life.